Possibly. Anyway, let's talk poetry. Bobby was saying that he's on a roll. Bobby's got what were you saying, Bobby? You have how many now? From almost nothing when we first started talking. You had a couple, I think.
Yeah, well, I think I have 15 or 16, and I did probably 4 or 5 since we last met. So
You have been busy, and we're going to
I
hear some
am
of it, right? Yeah.
Oh,
what's
you're
that?
just bragging. You're just bragging.
Right.
Well, I don't have a problem with bragging, you know. I
No,
do it
it's
because
great when it flows, when the words come to you,
that's right.
it's a
That's right.
beautiful
You
thing.
gotta make hay while the sun shines.
Yes,
Yep,
enjoy
That's
that's
it.
right.
true.
That's right.
Well, has anybody got anything really earth shattering, like I don't know, a new book or a new student or a new poem? I think Bobby's going to have to start us off today because I will admit I have not written a new poem in probably a couple of months, which
I
is a
haven't.
long time for me. It really is. I've been working on my book, which we're not going to talk about much, but other than that, I haven't contributed much. Um,
I haven't written a new one either, but there's a lot of them that I've written that I haven't read yet. So
well, yeah, hopefully that's going to be true.
Well,
yeah.
they're new for us.
Well, yeah, they're new
It's
for you,
done.
Dale and Bobby and Gary, but
Yeah.
they're not necessarily new for me.
Well, I'm just so tickled that we're all here, and that I really, at this point in time, my tech guy has got it so simplified for me that at 2 o'clock I just go click, boom, I'm on. I don't have to think about it. I don't do anything. I'm just here, and that's the way I like it. You know.
Yes, of course.
And I like what he's done so that I just automatically come on. I don't have to wait for you to
Exactly.
let
That's
me in.
right.
Exactly, and that's down the line. I think it's gonna help us. I'm not sure. You know, I send the invite out to about 10 or 11 people. I'm going to expand that, but we seem to have lost a couple of people, and I'm not sure. I haven't had a chance to. Well, I really haven't thought about uh, contacting somebody and saying, "Hey, we missed you last week" or something like that. I mean, maybe I should, but
Yeah, you should. Yeah, there's
okay.
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
All right. Well, then I
Mm.
will. If I should, I would, and I will.
Or you could just ask them politely, do you not want to join us? And then we won't bother sending you the invites anymore. I mean, that's a legitimate request.
It is a legitimate request. It's a bit nervier than I usually get, but it's like, you know, when I need somebody to write something nervy, I'll have my what do you call it? My not my tech guy,
Your
but
web developer, your
my
webmaster.
yeah, my webmaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does all my what do you call it?
Snarky.
Snarky. That was all she does all my snarky. Like I said, whatever it is, I got people. You know, it's like I don't really have very many skills, but I got people. You know, so let's read
It's
some
good
poetry.
to have people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's read some poetry. Yeah.
let's read some poetry.
Hmm.
Okay, you want me to start it off?
Yes.
I
Yes.
do. Yes.
Well, I want to share. I've shared this poem a couple times, and last time I told you I felt like it needed to be tightened up, and Ann and Gary said they didn't know where exactly for me to tighten it up. Ann did give me a suggestion about a word at the end, but I finally figured it out, and I've got what I think is the finished product, and so I want to read that to you if that's all right.
That's great.
I've entitled it Things I Like, People I Love, and What I'd Die For.
Oh.
There are things I like and people I love. To give up what I like is a diet. To break ties with those I love is to divorce. I'd rather diet than divorce, but either or, life goes on and I survive. But there is also a burning empathy in me whereby I would lay down my life for another. Life would not go on. I would not survive because I would intentionally sacrifice my life to spare one more child the horror of facing down an assailant wielding a weapon of war. There are things I like and people I love. I live there. It's easy to live there. But to actually die in place of that child, I'm going to have to get up and go. And while I gladly would, I find myself weighted down with an apathy that is kept alive by the things that I like and the people I love.
Nice. Good
Wow,
stuff.
I love that.
Yeah,
Wow,
good
that's a
finish.
poem, Bobby. That's good. That is good stuff. That is good stuff, and it's from the heart. Again, I feel it. You know,
And very contemporary, very timely.
absolutely. Oh, absolutely contemporary. Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff people like to print, something that's very timely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I just finally figured out how to arrange the thoughts. It seemed too bulky to me before, but I liked the flow of that one. So.
It's good.
Well, if this were poetry 101, you'd be an A student, brother.
Well, wow.
You cut on pretty quickly.
A 4.0 student, huh? I'll have to write a poem about that.
There you go. There you go.
That's an
See,
interesting
now
one.
you're hooked. Everything you do from here on in is like, hey, I can write a poem about that. You know, it's like, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, who wants to go up after that? You know, they say in theater, you never want to do a scene with animals or children.
Yeah. Or clean up
as
after
an
the
actor,
elephant.
you never want to do that, because they're going to steal it. You're going to be left in the dust.
Well, I have something light.
Okay, I like it.
And the backstory on this is, way back when I lived in Oregon, I had a wonderful backyard garden, sanctuary for birds. I spent a lot of time filling bird feeders and watching birds in my bird bath. I had a song sparrow that just threw all the water out, but I loved hearing his voice. And then I had this crow that would sit on the gutter and wait for me to fill the bird bath, and then he'd bring all of his crummy food and want to wash it in my clean bird bath. So this is a poem that I wrote about that, and I call it Water Ritual. He has trained me well to prepare pre-dinner rinse, disperse excess marinade, cleanse his finger bowl. Bird bath keeper, my role, flusher of debris, discarder of soggy bread, scrubber of concrete. He watches, clutching gutters, eager to dip, not black shiny feathers, but dumpster trophies, fish heads, bones of fowl. Brazen crow bobs at my roof's edge, chiding me to hurry, anxious to douse another serving, resume a meal that has no end. I fetch the hose, curse, and comply.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys brought your A game today. Dang.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. It really was.
I've never read that one. I'm going to be at Barnes and Noble on Friday. I think I'll read that one.
I would say
I
that's
would.
I've never done it before.
a winner. Yeah.
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 Okay. You want me to go next?
Yep.
Okay, I've got one, and this is one that a friend of mine and I have talked about. If you've ever read The Last Lecture by Randy Pausch, he has quotes about brick walls. So this one's called "And the Brick Wall Comes Tumbling Down." I sit behind a brick wall, wondering how I'll cross. I sit behind a brick wall, feeling a sense of loss. When a crackling sound is heard, I look up, and what do I see? the brick wall holding me back, crumbling right in front of me. I breathe a sigh of relief and thank God for hearing my inward cry, for as the brick wall comes tumbling down, he has given me wings to fly.
Uh-huh.
Say goodbye to the brick wall and hello to the blessed call of the Holy Spirit whispering in your soul, for he died on the cross to save the lost. He takes our wounded, broken spirit and makes us free and whole. Brick walls don't last forever. They're only here for a season. It's up to us how we cross them. God's purpose is our reason. How bad do you want the thing you wish to achieve? Do you have faith in God? Do you believe that He can remove the walls in your life? Or do you hide behind the wall because you don't know where to start? Okay. To walk out your purpose, in God we trust, in God we pray. Please remove the brick walls so that by your grace we may conquer our day. God bless you, dear reader. Please follow His will, for He has a plan for you. Listen, be still. Then go out into the world and obey His command. He's always beside you, holding your hand, showing you how He makes the brick walls tumble to the ground and fall down, down, down at your feet. Thank you, Jesus. That's the end of it. It was like a prayer in verse.
Good.
Excellent. Yeah.
And I have to write like that.
Like what now? What do you mean by that?
Like I write from the heart.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Good.
Have you ever thought of making that a little shorter? Maybe making it a little more concise?
I haven't thought about that. I have to go back and look at it, and because it does sound a bit. Part of it was me trying to make sure I could read it like I needed to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, just
Yeah,
a
for sure.
suggestion, because it sounds like as I was listening, it seemed like there's several places where you could have ended it that would have been a wonderful poem just by itself.
I could
So
probably make two or three.
yeah, you might even be able to make like a series of poems out of that.
Yeah, true.
Actually, I'd like to see you to try that. Maybe take a couple and present them maybe next time. As
Oh, take a couple of
individual
verses and
poem.
make them into individual poems.
Yeah, just give it
Ooh.
a shot. What the heck?
I have to think on that one.
Yeah, I'm still working on my biped baby, which I no longer call it that. It's kind of sexist if you think about it.
Okay.
I mean, it's a guy looking out his condo great window, and actually a couple of times I actually stepped out into the yard so I could get a better look. But just a guy looking at a girl walk by, that's the whole thing. Except that it was during COVID, and it was the highlight of my day whenever it happened. Unfortunately, it quit happening, but not because I did anything. I didn't scare her away. But
Well, you ought to add that part about how you went out and got a closer look. I think that
yeah,
would be good.
yeah, no, I'm a
No, I think that would be good for the
well,
public.
maybe I should. Dale was helping me with that, and I rewrote some of it because I felt like it just needed, somehow I needed to more solidly hook it to A, COVID, and B, my condo, and my nothing much happening in my life type poem. So I did write a thing, and I sent it to a musician friend of mine. He wasn't thrilled, but I think what he wasn't thrilled about was the new part I put in. So that's a long story to tell you that I'm not going to share that poem today because I haven't worked on it. However, I'm going back to it because, a good idea, you just never want to throw it away, and
No.
I still think it's a good idea. Anyway,
And it's fun to play with the words too.
yeah. Okay. I have to look and see which one okay, that could be, that could be, I try to keep the short one to be my last one in case I'm starting to bore people. So I'll read one of these, and you'll just have to suck it up. That's all. It's not real long, but I'm gonna well, it's 2 pages, but the lines are
Oh my
short.
gosh, 2 pages.
The lines are short. The lines are short. I call this brain mites. Lightning bugs, brain mites, creatures too light to go bump in the night. What are they? Why are they? And why do they come to me late at night before my first letting go, and early morning too, and after long entangled dreams, like tiny dancers with their tiny voices? We know you have doubts, they say to me. Here's something for you. We know you have fears. Here's something for you. We know you're seeking solace. Sorry, none to give, they say to me. Airborne creatures having sport with me. Catch us if you can. Oh, you missed me. Miss me again and I'll be gone. Oh, you're starting to forget, they say to me. They know I'm bound to chase them. They know I might get lucky, a quick and stealthy snatch, and out pops a poem. Do they fear I want to present them like lightning bugs in a jar, or press them like a bouquet of exhausted flowers, or smother them inside a musty book? They seem to say to me, if you live long enough, and if you try hard enough, you might capture more than we're inclined to give. Do they want me to help them, to save them, to preserve their tiny identities? I know about the ones I catch, but do either ever come again? Are they subject to the pull of my imagination, or free as the breeze they seem to float on? I have faith they will come again, faith I will capture some, but have I lost too many to keep the game alive? Is anybody keeping score? That's it. That's my long one for today. So you got something to look forward to.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was a fun one. It was a fun one.
Very visual.
Very
visual.
Yep.
Well, I don't know if this happens to you, but I get ideas sometimes on the way to the bathroom in the middle of the night. And I've lost so many, to me, I've lost so many good ideas because somehow between the time it goes in my brain and I get out to the computer and I get it down, or I get to a piece of paper and get it, I've lost it. It just never happened.
You need to use your sound memo on your phone so you
Right.
can just say it.
Yeah, that's
Well, I've got a device on there, and you just speak it, and it actually sends it to the computer. I mean, it prints it, whatever I say, it prints
Right.
it, sends it to my computer, and then I got it. It can't get away
Yeah.
from me. So I've got a few of those. But the funny thing about that is, I started out thinking this is really a good idea, but now I must have 100 of those things now. And I say, when was I ever going to write this? It's like, yeah, it's kind of cute, but it's like,
or you get where you're going, and I've gotten ideas in the bathroom, but I'll be in the zone thinking about how, how to do a poem or a scene for a story or something. The phone rings, scares the daylights out of me, and I lose it that quick.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Well, I thought it would be like sort of a common thing among writers, especially poets, because we don't need much. I don't need a plot, or a storyline. All I need is just a thought, and boom. And so that's my thought poem thing. Okay, so
Well,
to you, Bobby.
I have another one, yeah, but I've kind of go into these things in a couple different ways. One of them is when something's happening to me, I tend to write about that. And I
Yeah,
used to write little short stories, and now I'm writing poems about that. But another way, I love to take what I like to do with my poems is to put them inside of a graphic that I've designed or that is public domain, and run it through filters and build frames and do all kinds of things with it. And I was looking for a graphic to use with one of my poems, and I came across another graphic that I really liked. So I copied it, ran it through some filters that made it really look cool. And then I thought, I got to write a poem to fit that graphic. And and this
that
is
sounds
that
about
poem.
right. Yeah,
Oh,
This the graphic is a street that goes around the bend, and you can't see where it goes, and up above there's the sky. And so this is the graphic. It's the poem is called Wherever You Go. This is my view near the start. On your marks, get set, now depart. I can see certain things set in place, the path down below, and above, empty space. Shall I walk on the path like I'm told, or fly in the sky, break the mold? It's not all bad on the ground, but in the air I could see all around. As I waffle and ponder my choice, from in me I hear a soft voice. It's not down below, it's not up above. It's through the unseen portal of love. On your marks, get set, now depart. And wherever you go, always follow your heart.
Oh,
that's
okay.
lovely.
One line that I think you'll be able to find easily that I really like, because sometimes I like to be surprised. And sometimes people will use a word that I would have never thought of to use in that situation. So the word is waffle. I want you to find that line where you say waffle, because I love that line.
As I waffle and ponder my choice.
Yes, as I waffle and ponder my choice. That's a heck of a line. I love that.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I like that poem, and I've shared it with a few people that have responded very positively towards it. I didn't know where I was going when I started, but I realized it wasn't down below, it wasn't up above, it was from inside of me, follow my heart. So
Right, right, right.
And I like how you started out, ready, set, depart, and you start out and you loop it back. It's like, okay, we're gonna take off down the trail of the poem, and then you loop back, and it's like, okay, now take off and down the trail, follow your heart and into
yeah,
your life. The end of it turns into like a jumping off point.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
Thank you.
And on that happy note, I think it's your turn, Dale.
Yeah. Okay, I have
Thank
one
you,
that.
Bobby. That was terrific.
Okay, this poem is about, the thing about left brain, left and right brain, the creative
Right.
side and the analytical side. Okay, so this is called GPS Voices Inside My Head. My right brain loves French fries and fudge. My left brain chides me for my growing pudge. Right side flings me with abandon onto the floor to dance every beat. Left side flashes, idiot, remember you have scoliosis and flat feet. Right delights in licks of gelato. Left braces for cramps and diarrhea that follow. Right savors sips of Chardonnay. Left screams, cirrhosis can't be far away. Right keeps me up for days writing the world's greatest haiku. Left reminds me poetry doesn't pay. Bipolar, schizophrenic, am I headed down that splintered road? Left brain mechanically drones, you have reached that destination. But I know, beyond the monotone noise, just one crimson brush stroke away, my destination is on the right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah. That's a dichotomy. That's a very interesting dichotomy. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, I think I was looking for the ending that you had, but to be honest with you, I had begun to doubt it. So I don't know how she's going to get out of this. You know, it's like the bad, the good, the bad. What's she going to do? I mean, she can't go on forever, but it's interesting. And yet I know she's got to end it. And it's like, you did it. You did it.
So you're telling me it was too long, right? You got bored in the
No,
middle?
I'm not telling you that. And I think I would. I think I would if I really
Yeah,
felt
I hope
that.
so.
You know.
Or you'd have your publicity guy tell her for you.
Well, yeah, I don't do my own wet work.
That's
You
right,
know.
since you have no guts. Yeah.
And I know you got tongue tied, but that left brain, life brain, right great brain, creative brain, that's kind of sticking in my head right now.
Yeah. Well, maybe a poem will pop out from
I
that.
know. I think it will before
Or
it's all
maybe
over.
you just go and say, "Oh man, why did Dale have to do that to me?" You know.
No, I think a poem's coming.
Actually, I wrote that poem many years ago after I heard somebody do a poem that was similar. And
Yeah.
it was such a bad poem. It was like, well, I could write a better poem than that about that. So
I'm going to
there
write.
you go. There's the challenge.
Yeah. Well, maybe you did. Maybe you
Yeah.
did. You know. But it was enjoyable. Okay, I'm gonna I would like to get the subject off of literature and poetry and wonderful language and give you a math poem. This is a math poem.
Ooh.
I think it's a math poem because the title of it is Calculus.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, okay, that should shiver your timbers. Just the word calculus, kind of like, ooh, you know. And I actually had to take it. So, calculus. Such a lovely calculus, you and I together. Despite whatever separates, despite whatever tethers, we have traveled over time to find us teetering on a metaphor, perhaps the ultimate sublime of what could be our evermore. Do we fly up beyond the endless sea, or do we fall into the deep abyss? Are we only what was meant or not to be, or are we shapers of a future bliss?
Mm.
Calculus.
Calculus.
Oof. Wow. That's an interesting way to look at it.
Well, I don't
That's
know.
that's an unusual title for that type of a poem.
Well, yeah, I agree. And actually, I forget what I call poems. I want to read a poem from like 5 years ago, and I won't be able to find it because I had a different title than what I've got in my head, you know. But I just thought the title fit, you know. It kind of like gets you a little bit on edge calculus, and then hopefully throughout the poem you realize it's just me trying to.
Well, you're looking at the relationship as a mathematical equation that works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there
So,
you
you
go.
know, makes
There
sense.
you go.
Yeah.
I should have written that down. In case you don't like this poem, the reason is, you know,
Oh, that would make for a good blog post, though, Gary.
well, it would. I just happen to have blogs and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you could put the reason for the poem, what inspired it or whatever. Yeah. Well, are you ready for me to give you another one?
Yeah.
Of course we are.
Okay, this is one, and this is one I felt the calling to edit. So it's called All Things Work for Good. The year got off to a crazy busy start. The Holy Spirit tells me to trust God with all my heart. I've struggled this week with doubt and fear. God whispers words of comfort. My child, I'm right here. I know your heart, and I have a plan to mold and shape the words I've put into author's hands. I've got a story. I give you a story to tell, though it's not the one you thought you knew so well. Take up thy cross and follow me, for I have more in store for thee. Though 2022 has just begun, my child, the best is yet to come. My child, the best is yet to come. Actually, that was written last year, and I may change it to 2023, but still.
I guess you could just keep running it up every time. Just put a new year on there, and
I guess I'd have to do that to really.
I would do it. You know, it's like if
Yeah.
I was stuck, I said I need a new poem. Okay, let me put a new date on this thing over here. But
Uh-huh. And I was just gonna let that go, but actually that last line just it just felt right to repeat it.
yeah,
That was good, and
yeah. I liked it, and I'm fine with you putting a new date on it. You read it next year. You know,
Uh-huh.
it's my turn. I think
I think you skipped ahead of me and then I came back in.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I did.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did.
I was gonna, after you were done, I was gonna say I think we moved past Anne.
Wait a minute. What are you
But
telling me?
Anne came
What are
in
you
all.
telling me? What are you telling me? What are you telling me?
Double dipping.
Well, we just went a different order the second time through, but we got everybody covered. So,
I just want to see if you're all paying attention, right?
oh well, we were.
That's okay. We were.
That was kind of lame.
We noticed. I had contacted my publicity guy to get a hold of you, but you fixed it before.
You just wish you had a tech guy. That's all.
That's
He
true.
doesn't need one.
No, Bob's techie. Bobby's techie.
I know he is. He doesn't need
Um,
another guy. Yeah.
Well,
And in fact, Bobby, you have to tell us how you get that stuff set up like you put on Facebook, where you did read your poem in your own voice and you had that beautiful background. How do
Yeah,
you do
that's what I do with all of them. Is I find the background, and then
yeah.
I've got an app on my phone where I can do the voice. And
So what's the app? What's the app?
It's on every iPhone. It's called Clips.
Clips? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know if you have time, but I wrote a poem this morning. You want to hear it?
1 of 6.
Sure.
I had I went to my doctor today.
Podcast ship poetry.
I had a biopsy, and so today was the day I found out if I had cancer or if I didn't have cancer and how bad it was and that kind of thing. And So this morning, like I say, sometimes I write a poem because of things I'm going through. And I wrote this poem this morning, already got a graphic for it and everything. I got up early enough to do that. I just haven't recorded the voice over it yet. But it's called The Man. And there's a reference to the man twice. The first time is in small letters, the little man referring to us. And the last one is in big letters referring to the man, God. So this is called The Man. Today I travel to a holding room to wait my turn for the man. He'll give me answers I've been waiting for, but more questions will soon be at hand. I may not know how to answer them, but I'll do the best I can as I listen to a voice that's familiar, always present, never absent, the man. That's it.
See, without the backstory, because you put that on Facebook, and I looked at that this morning, and I read it over, and I didn't quite get it. I mean, I understood it a little bit, but I didn't know the backstory.
Well, and I thought it was safe to put it on Facebook because I thought people will. I do a lot of storytelling, and I teach people how to tell story, and I tell them about the best story is one that ends with people having lots of questions that come up to you afterwards and go, "Hey,
Oh,
what?
absolutely.
What?
Yeah.
What?" And so I put this on expecting questions because I thought no one will exactly understand it because not very many people knew that I went through that process. But anyway, I kind of like that one too. I might refine it a bit, but
Well, I think you need to put just a little bit more information so people have a general idea of what kind of things you're dealing with. I mean, I don't know how you would do that, but just a little bit more info than what you have.
Yeah, and I don't have the words that you have, Dale, but I had a feeling about that, like maybe there was more. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't suppose you'd want to read it again. I'd like to hear things twice if I can.
All right.
If I need to, I'm saying.
Today I travel to a holding room to wait my turn for the man. So that's referring to the waiting room, waiting to get in to see the doctor. He'll give me answers I've been waiting for, but more questions will soon be at hand. And they were. I may not know how to answer them, but I'll do the best I can as I listen to a voice that's familiar. And I put that's familiar in comparison to somebody I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the doctor, but I'll listen to a voice that's familiar. He's always present, never absent, the man. So there was news, not good news. There are answers. There's more questions that are at hand now, and there's more tests that need to be done to see if it's not just contained in that one area, but elsewhere. And then there's talk of therapy and procedure, and so I'll have to make choices. But that's me. I always start my day with conversation with God, and so Him and I will, whatever I've had to walk through, whether it was the death of my son or whatever it is, I walk through it with Him, and so that's what the poem is all about. So I might need to fill in some of the empty.
Yes. Yeah, put in enough so we can really share it without not being too puzzled. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good words.
Okay. So it must be my turn. Must be my turn. Is it my turn now?
Well, what do you think? So is it Dale's turn?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
You got it.
All right. This poem, my dad had dementia, and we all love our fathers, and we have a whole lifetime because he lived. He was in his late 80s. But So, and I call this poem One-Sided Memories. Because I'm listing a few things that happened along the way. And, he just never, towards the end, he just, kind of lost all of those. Anyway, One-Sided Memories. You don't remember, but the bus would leave you standing across the street. I would wait on the corner so you could hold my hand. We walked home together. I was 4. You were daddy. My plane would circle. I saw you standing, sunny open air airport courtyard. Your baby blue beat up floppy hat, a beacon to me from my window seat. The plane circling, bringing me home. My first college break. I was 19. You were dad. At the airport, that last time, after mom's stroke, you waited for me. I saw you. I was 50. You were ancient. You sobbed in the kitchen, an unforgettable sob. The phone still in your hand, sealing like listening off silver strands on your baby pink scalp. Mom wasn't coming home. You never remembered much of anything after that.
That's sad.
It is. But I have the good memories too.
Yeah.
Marion, that's poetry.
Yep.
Take something that we all may experience and just give it, well, this is what it was for me. And I really love the progression of images, that was really, I think that's what made it so touching, they weren't bad images, at least until the end, and yet we knew where you were going, kind of, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd almost have to call that a tearjerker. I mean, not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. I'm just saying, I was,
Oh, yeah. Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's all part of life.
Yep. It is.
Yes, it is.
So I could skip it myself. No, I can't skip it. If I skipped it, I'd be skipping myself. I can't do that. Okay.
No, you can't. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Are you up?
Yeah, it's my turn.
Okay.
I had something a little lighthearted. I actually was writing a children's chapter fantasy book or children's fantasy chapter book, may I say. And I came up with, because I'd made these little crocheted toys. It was a little crocheted candy corn Santa Claus thing that I had come up with. And so I wrote this candy corn nursery rhyme. It's a really cute one for kids, but I thought it would be cool to share it here. Sitting on the wall, dangling his legs so he won't fall. Wait. Wait a minute. Oh, hold on. Let me start over. Let's see. Oh, candy corn, sitting on the wall, dangling his legs so he won't fall. Will he fall apart or land on his feet? Will he be messy or will it be neat? He jumps off the wall, landing on his rump, bouncing from room to room. Thumpity thump thump. Right. Bringing joy to kids of all ages as he inspires me to put words on pages. Setting my creative spirit free. And that's it. I know I know I didn't read that the best I could, but anyway.
So is this a candy cane? Is that what you said?
Candy corn.
Oh, candy corn. Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Let me get up to the top of it. Hold on.
Okay, now what exactly is candy corn? I'm not.
It's that crummy little stuff at Easter that looks like kernels of corn in your hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I did not like that stuff.
No, me neither. Yeah, too sweet.
Oh, it's at Halloween. The white and the yellow, or the white and the yeah.
I remember always thinking, is this somebody's idea of candy? You know, I'll be giving me that. Yeah. But when you look at it differently, like you did, all of a sudden it's more interesting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Well, you know, I think the beauty of poetry is even I think when we struggle, the images are going to be there anyway,
Yeah.
you know. And you always want to have the rhythm and everything come out right, but if it's there, it's there, and that was cute. I like that.
Thank you.
It's got to be my turn now. It
Yep.
has to be.
It is
Yep.
your turn.
I've waited so long,
And I guess you get to take us on home, huh?
and I've well, talk about putting some pressure on it. You know, no,
I'm just messing with you.
I was not going to try to top anything that happened today because there's been some good stuff today. You know, not that there isn't every day, every time, but I thought we were kind of on a roll today. You know, just like people making me cry, people making me think. You know, it's like you're killing.
Candy corn, there's rewind. Candy corn.
Anyway, this is so. Since I had a long one, I have a short one. That I call this one turnaround time. Ideas, storylines, flights of fancy, stuff stolen by the stroke. At first came creeping back, but now have reached gale force, dominating my quiet time, disrupting my sleep, banging around in my head like they own the place. Welcome back. That's it.
It's cute.
Well, I
That
said
was
this.
Good to be back.
Say what?
I said it's good to be back.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, right.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I like to say that's all I got, but I know that's not true about any of us. We all got a whole lot more, you know. So, is anybody this? I had this idea because, you know, everybody's got things that they're good at and not good at, except for some people who are good at everything. And it's like, I try to avoid those people if I can.
I don't know of anybody that's good at everything.
But anyway, I'm not about fundamental things like, does anybody know what time it is?
Hold on, I can tell you.
2:55.
Does anybody know? Remember that song? Does anybody know what? I can't.
4 p.m.
There's an old rock and roll tune. Anyway, I didn't give it any melody, so because I couldn't remember it. Well, I think that let me just ask in with a question. I have a blast and I look forward to this a lot. And I'm just wondering, you know, if we've got any parting thoughts on, is there anything that you would like to see that we don't get to get into? I don't know, maybe more discussion on, I mean, and I hear some of it, you know, you've shared where this poem or that poem came from. But I don't know, is there, do you all feel that there's more that we could do to, well, mainly to encourage people to write more poetry or to write poetry in the first place if they haven't, you know? I just thought if anybody has any ideas maybe that we could explore.
Maybe we could end with a writing prompt, a challenge of some sort.
That could be interesting.
Oh, and to write something to bring back next time?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Or even for people who's watching, give us a, not only for us to bring back next time, because I'm going to try to separate that poem, but not only that, but for them to follow through and maybe send you something for New Poets Wednesday, Gary.
Yeah.
I would really like that. I would really.
I really like that idea.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do, and I have stuck to it, and through thick and thin. When I started, I had a friend. Well, I still have a friend. Okay.
Probably more than one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Couple. Anyway, he teaches creative writing online. And very often he'll get a creative writing class and have a poetry section. So he's got several students writing poems. And that's where I got my first batch of, if you're going to have a program like that, or something on the website like that, you need stuff. You need poems, and so it worked pretty well. But people who teach online, they move around quite a bit. They'll work for several different schools, several different colleges, and there's only some of them go under, some of them change their procedures. I mean, I couldn't rely on my friend to give me poems, and so I spend some of my time just reaching out to people I've worked with, or people who are still in education, or it's just send us some poems. I think it's a great idea, but we do need poems. Now, I'm not above repeating stuff, because I don't ever want to have a Wednesday come up and there's no poem, but at the same time, I didn't mean to make that such a long diatribe, but I'm happy that you like the idea, and I believe in it too. And I think what we're doing has some legs. I think, and what I always have in mind is the day when a whole lot of people can see what we're doing and decide if they want to be involved in it or not. And a part of that is we still haven't gotten to the YouTube stage quite yet. But like I said, I got a guy and he's working on it, and I feel blessed to be doing with you guys every other Tuesday. I mean, it's really something to look forward to. So that's what I got.
Good. Well, I enjoy it too. And do we have a prompt to take away with us?
Oh boy, put me on the spot.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what?
Come up with a
I
prompt
think
now.
Raven gave me a prompt and suggested one, but I swear I don't know what I did with it. Listen, Sam, I have instructions for everything. So this is pretty much. No, the prompt is just see you in 2 weeks. Keep writing. It's good for you.
Oh, really?
Well, that's what he put. Okay, he's a tech guy.
Okay, that's yeah.
So writing is good for your health. Is that it?
The left brain, life brain, right brain, creative brain is stuck in my head. So why not write a poem? And I'm actually going to do this. Why not write a poem about the creative side versus the rational side of life?
Ah.
Yeah, there you go.
I have a
That's
story
it's stuck
for
in my head. I
There you
cannot
go.
get rid of it.
I have a story for that, which I will flesh out in the next downtime. But you have to follow through on that.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, I think we all need to.
I think I've got something started anyway.
Yeah,
In
the
my
gears
head.
are turning in my head.
Well, I already wrote my poem, so I've already got my assignment done.
Well, I kind of got mine too. I got my idea, you know.
Yeah.
I've got the first part of mine is left brain, right life brain, right brain, creative brain. All the voices in my brain are driving me insane. That's like the first stanza right there.
I have a story I'm going to flesh out. When I was in college, barely sneaking through to graduation, when I was given a compliment. Now, I'm just going to give you the compliment. I'm not going to give you the backstory, but I was given a compliment. Well, two things. One, this is the teacher talking about me. And he said, the thing about a student like Gary is you have to kind of wait for him, you know, because that's the creative process. So you have to be patient. That's all I'm going to give you. But there is a story behind that. So maybe I can tell that next time, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right.
So I think that we've done our due diligence. You guys have been great, like always. And if you have anybody who you want to bring on the show who you think would like to come out and play poetry with us, bring them on. We don't turn anybody down.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right?
I will forward it to a couple of friends of mine I know who write poetry. So
Well, there you go. You see, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. I would like to have 20 people, you know. I don't know if we ever have them on the same show at the same time, but I would like to have a larger pool just because I think I think all of us are about not just sharing poetry, but wanting to encourage people to express themselves, to actually put it down in print, or be like Bobby and make a video thing out of it. I don't know, but it's a great one. You know, it's a great one. And I see that's what I think. I think that we're all full of good ideas that we may or may not have already shared. So I think I'm going to make that my final statement. So, Bobby, what would you like to say? Anything? Goodbye.
I have nothing to say other than what I've already said. So
All right. And what you said was great.
I look forward to these. I look forward to the next time, and I'll be thinking about creative and not so creative.
mm-hmm.
Like that. Dale, your last parting shot?
I'll see you in 14, you know. This is
I
good.
like
I enjoy
that.
getting better every time. I think as we get more comfortable with each other and we can share maybe on a different level.
I think that's true.
Makes it really nice.
I definitely think that's true. Okay. So, Ann, you got the last word, I guess.
Well, I'm gonna do like I do on my own podcast. I challenge you to go out there and read to get inspired, write something inspiring, and share your creation with the world. For when you've touched one life, you've touched thousands. Yes, my podcast talks about stories that matter, but in this case, because it's a poetry podcast, your poem matters.
I could not say it better than that.
So go write poetry.
Go write poetry. That's it.
Yeah.
Over and out.